Hello, everyone. My name is Maggie Armstrong, and I am a senior at Meredith College studying child development and working towards my K-6 teaching license. Today, I will be sharing with you my thesis entitled The Effects of External Influences on Children's Play. My overall goal of the study was to look at why children gravitate towards the toys they did. What influenced them, and why? For this study, 3 different child care centers in Raleigh were contacted about participating. 2 ended up agreeing to participate. Electronic and paper copies were provided to parents and teachers at each center, along with the necessary consent forms. The surveys for parents and teachers were similar, both aiming to see what toys their children or students gravitate towards, their typical behaviors at home or in the classroom, and what toys they, the parents or teachers, would consider traditional boy toys or girl toys. Additionally, children ages 2 to 4 were interviewed to see if the ideas they shared would line up with the responses gathered from the surveys. The children were asked a series of questions regarding who and what they enjoyed playing with when they were at home or at school and why. The children were then asked questions from Freeman 2007 to sort images classified by Ragg and Ratcliffe 1998 as boy and girl toys into what they believed would be a better fit for a young girl or a young boy. The demographics of the caregivers. The 6 teachers surveyed had a range of years spent teaching from 6 months to 21 years, displaying a large range in experience between them all. 4 of the 6 teachers indicated that they held a high school diploma, 1 reported that they were almost done with their bachelor's degree, and 1 shared that they had a bachelor's degree. When asked about previous careers prior to childcare, 2 of the 6 teachers had not had any previous careers before teaching, but 4 reported that they had. Furthermore, 4 teachers indicated they had children of their own, ranging in age from 6 months old to 21 years old, and 2 indicated they did not have children of their own. The 10 parents surveyed had children of their own ranging from 3 months of age to 18 years old. 9 of the 10 parents reported having multiple children, while 1 reported to only have 1 child. 1 of the parents held a master's degree, while 6 of the surveyed parents had bachelor's degrees, and 3 had high school diplomas. 6 of the parents indicated that they worked outside of the home, whereas 4 reported that they did not. The results. In total, 10 parents and 6 teachers filled out the surveys provided to them. These participants were recruited through convenient sampling, allowing for the possibility of snowball recruitment. Patent 2009 writes that this method of recruitment allows for the study to reach a wider group of participants. Their survey answers showed a variety of themes and sub-themes to help illustrate their beliefs on the topics. Caregiver influence was a predominant theme appearing throughout the caregiver survey data. This was further broken down into sub-themes, indicating particular influences of parents and teachers and the idea of modeling. Parents and teachers wanted to demonstrate the behaviors they believed were appropriate for their children or students, and thus have them follow their actions. Types of play was another noticeable theme, breaking down into 3 smaller sub-themes of non-gender specific play, gender-specific play, and gender-neutral play. Non-gender specific play was the most spoken of, with 5 parents and 5 teachers implying that they were accepting of children playing as they would like, regardless of their gender. Gender-specific play was also frequently brought up, with parents sharing what their children tended to play with and the toys they would associate with their gender. Gender-neutral play was less frequently mentioned than the other 2, with parents classifying more basic toys such as blocks and board games as gender-neutral in nature. Expectations for play were also indicated in the survey data, with a variety of sub-themes falling under that umbrella. Some sub-themes include playing together and providing equal opportunity for the children to play, with parents and teachers wanting their children or students to play together and find something they are interested in playing with. Furthermore, sub-themes of what were considered to be boy or girl toys and the gender-specific expectations during play appeared. Cars, trucks, and tools were mentioned by parents when asked about what they considered to be boy toys, and dolls, princesses, and dresses were mentioned when asked what they considered to be girl toys. The parents and teachers spoke about how they believed that the boys were typically rougher and louder in their play, whereas girls were quieter during their play. For the first theme that emerged from the data, caregiver influence, here are some of the quotes that I believe best demonstrate its sub-themes. Influence of parents and teachers had 3 quotes from the parents that fell within the sub-theme, though it was best illustrated through this specific quote. We buy the toys at home that she plays with. Influence of teachers had 4 quotes from teachers that fell within this sub-theme, though it was best illustrated through this specific quote. Teachers facilitate play by interacting with the children during play and by the items present in the classroom. Modeling had 3 quotes from caregivers that fell within the sub-theme, though it was best illustrated through the specific quote below. I let them play as they want. I just model appropriate behavior and problem solving. For the second theme that emerged from the data, types of play, below are some of the best quotes to demonstrate the corresponding sub-themes. Non-gender specific play had 12 quotes from caregivers that fell within the sub-theme, though I believe that this quote best demonstrates. I believe that toys are able to be utilized by all children, regardless of the gender they are marketed to. Gender-specific play had 5 quotes from caregivers fall within the sub-theme, though it was best illustrated through this specific quote. She likes playing with dolls and dress up. Gender-neutral play had 5 quotes from caregivers fall within the sub-theme, though it was best illustrated through this specific quote. Lots of toys are gender-neutral, like balls, blocks. For the third theme that emerged from the data, play expectations, here are some of the quotes I believe best demonstrate the corresponding sub-themes. Playing together had 6 quotes from caregivers that fell within the sub-theme, though it was best displayed through this quote. I encourage all of the children in my classroom to play cooperatively with one another. Equal opportunity to play had 3 quotes from caregivers fall within the sub-theme, though it was best displayed through this quote. Every child has an equal chance to play with all the toys in the classroom, no matter what toy it is. Active activities had 8 quotes from caregivers that fell within the sub-theme, though it was best displayed through this quote. I think the expectation is that boys are loud, rowdy, and destroy things. Creative and quieter activities had 5 quotes from caregivers that fell within this sub-theme, though it was best displayed through this quote. Girls are expected to sit for longer periods and play quietly. The demographics for the children surveyed ranged from age 2 to 4. There were 2 boys and 1 girl interviewed. Consent was provided for 4 children from 1 child care center. However, only 3 were interviewed due to the attendance at the time the interviews were taking place. Some similar themes and sub-themes were reflected from the parents and teachers' answers through the answers provided by the children, though some displayed opposite. One of the similar themes between the caregivers and the children included caregiver influence, particularly the theme of parental influence. Types of play was also apparent, specifically the sub-themes of gender-specific and gender-neutral play. Gender-neutral play was most prominent amongst the interviewed children, with the children sharing the toys they most preferred playing with were the toys their parents identified as gender-neutral in nature. However, not all of the same themes appeared. In regards to play expectations, one classmate mentioned that they enjoyed playing with classmates of a different gender, but they did prefer to play with classmates of the same gender because they are the same gender. This differs from parents and teachers, illustrating a desire for their children or students to all play together. Similar themes were displayed when the children were interviewed, which correlated with the themes present in the caregiver survey data. These included the caregiver influence sub-theme of the influence of a parent is illustrated through this quote. What is your favorite toy to play with at home? Play with mommy and daddy. This child shows that they prefer to spend time with their parents, and thus parents have the ability to influence their play decisions. The types of play sub-theme of gender-neutral play is illustrated through this child's quote. So what is your favorite thing to do when you're at school? Play with blocks. This child identifies a toy that parents frequently identified as gender-neutral in nature, as their favorite toy to play with when they were at school was gender-neutral in nature. One different theme was displayed when the children were interviewed, as both genders seemed to display a preference for playing with children of their same gender, whereas caregivers wished for everyone to play together. This was displayed through these quotes. Do you prefer to play with the boys in your class or the girls? The girls. Why do you like to play with the girls in your class? Because I'm a girl. Additionally, do you prefer to play with the boys in your class or the girls? The boys. The first child clearly states that they prefer to play with the girls because she is a girl. This suggests that gender does indeed play a role in how a child chooses to play. Based on the data I collected, teachers feel that they encourage their children to play freely within their classrooms, though this is based on their own ideals on what they believe is happening within their classrooms. No studies were found regarding specifically the influence teachers have on the play of their children. Dinella and Weisgram's 2018 study discusses parents as the gatekeepers of the toys their children play with, page 255. This was clearly illustrated through the themes that emerged from the parent surveys, as many of the parents spoke about the large roles they felt they played in the toys their children were provided with at home. Furthermore, Todd, Barry, and Thommessen point out in their 2017 study how parental behavior can impact the toys their children gravitate towards. This was made evident in the data provided by the parent surveys. 3 of the parents specifically mentioned that they felt their children learn from the parents' actions. Within the data from the parent survey, most of the parents indicated that they would be accepting should their children want to play with a toy that was not targeted towards their gender. Freeman 2007 conducted a very similar study that illustrated similar results from the parents. The children did not illustrate the same thoughts of their parents, indicating that both parents may not be as accepting towards them playing with toys less commonly associated with their gender. The children within my study were less conclusive in nature. As I spoke about earlier when I mentioned the differences between the caregivers and children, all of the children spoke about preferring to play with classmates of their same gender. The teachers and parents expressed the desire for everyone to play together. They spoke of children sharing and siblings playing together, regardless of their age or gender. The children, however, showed a preference for playing with classmates of their same gender. All 3 children surveyed answered that they preferred to play with classmates of the same gender. The limitations. The number of participants within the study was small, which limited the quantity of survey data received. This was due to the struggle to find participants for the study. 3 child care centers were contacted and 2 agreed to participate. It was because of this that there were fewer possible participants for the caregiver surveys. Additionally, as discussed earlier, the children were asked to categorize different toys for a boy or a girl. The order of the images got mixed up during the interview process, and it was not always clear in the audio recording what toy was being shown. This made that portion of the data inconclusive. So what does it mean? The results of the study can be useful for parents and teachers alike. For both parents and teachers, it is important to recognize the influence they have. Parents may not be aware, but the choices they make for their children and something as simple as the toys they buy them can impact them into adulthood. Parents and teachers are able to learn how the behaviors they illustrate help their students or children learn and grow. Children are able to be more aware of the possible influences, as well as the fact that they may have more playful parents and teachers in their environment. I hope you've enjoyed learning about my thesis today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at mkarmstrong@email.meredith.edu. Thank you. These are the references for the studies mentioned throughout this presentation, in case you would like to read more about similar previous studies.